What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel, Demo's Diecast. I am your host, Demo. We are back today with episode 1 of our wheel swap tutorials. So the way I'm going to break this down is we are going to do episode 1, which is going to be basic wheel swaps, and then episodes 2, 3, 4, however many we decide to go, will be advanced wheel swaps, right? So different ways to lower, different ways to add camber, things like that. I don't want to introduce too much information to you guys at one time, so we will do these in different parts. We have a special guest today, guys, for today's video. My son, Mr. Q Swap, is going to be helping us with the wheel swap today. And just a week or so ago, I learned that there is also another young viewer out there who watches Demo's Diecast for wheel swap information as well. So if you are watching today, shout out to Miss Farron. She was watching the wheel swap video that we did on the Skyline R34 Mini GT with the BNDS wheels. She was highly intent and really tuned in. Her grandfather is a subscriber of the channel and sent me the message of her watching the video on Facebook. So shout out to you and shout out to Miss Farron for watching. We appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in, and we can't wait to see your wheel swaps once you start doing them, okay? So with that being said, let's get into it. What's up, guys? We're back. Hope everybody's having a great week so far out there. Great weekend coming up. So hopefully you guys have some good plans. Maybe you're going to go out hunting, spend some time with the family, whatever it may be. But hope everybody had a great week. And yeah, like I said, we're going to jump into these wheel swaps today. So I do have my assistant with me, Mr. Q Swap. He is going to be displaying and giving you guys instructions on how to do a basic wheel swap. So this is his car that he has chosen. This is a Mazda RX-7 FC. Full details on this guy. Super nice, super clean. This one has not been drilled yet, obviously. The rivets are still intact. But yeah, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to drill this guy, and he is going to walk you through the steps of how to do a basic wheel swap. I'm fully aware that most people out there might already know how to do this. However, there might be some watchers and subscribers who aren't familiar with this process. So I just want to start from the very beginning so that there's a series of videos that people can go back and watch and kind of learn this technique and progress your technique, right? Maybe this is something you want to get into that you've never done, but it does take progression. I feel like if you were to jump from no swaps into doing slam swaps, there's some things that may not make sense. So to start the video off, we'll set this back. These are the wheels he has chosen. So he's got a black 6-spoke with a blue lip that we're going to be throwing on there. So those are super dope. And these are going to be the tools that we're using. Obviously, we're going to have a drill with a bit. Drill bit size that I prefer to use is this 1/8 inch drill bit. You can get these at Walmart, I believe is where I got these from. They're like, I want to say it's like $2.99 or $3.99 for a pack of 3. So not very expensive at all. You can probably get a more high quality or a better drill bit. I've had several of these break on me, so yeah, it just kind of depends on how much pressure you use. But all in all, these really do get the job done. And like I said, they're cheap in case I do break them. That way I don't really have a lot of expense. We are going to use a set of just household nail clippers. Nothing special here, just literally a legit pair of nail clippers. And then we also have a set of cutters that we get from Hobby Lobby. So you could pick these up. I want to say these are $9.99 for a set. Just a nice sharp pair of cutters. You can find these in the customization aisle with all of the other cutters, pliers, tweezers, etc. So super dope. But yeah, that's it for a basic wheel swap. Those are the only tools you're going to need. I also do use a rag to hold my car with. So basically, here in a second, we are going to reposition the camera. Mr. Q Swap is going to hold the camera for me while I drill the rivets, so you guys can get an idea of how to drill those out. And but basically, what I do is I've got my hand here. I take my towel. I want to put my car inside of my towel, and then I'm going to wrap and hold it with my hands, so you can see I'm squeezing it. And then the drill bit is going to go here. I would drill right here, except that you are going to get a lot of metal shavings that fall, and I really don't want them all over my mat down here. So I'm going to do this over a trash can. I would recommend the same at your house, or at least over a bare floor where you don't mind sweeping those up. Just a little example of what might happen or what could happen if you don't use a towel to hold your car. You can't really see it too well, but this right here, let's see. So that is the leftovers of a drill bit that broke while I was drilling, and I ended up shoving the rest of the drill bit into my thumb. Nothing too crazy. Yeah, it didn't require stitches or anything like that. I did freak my son out because it happened while I was drilling a car for him, and blood instantly gushed down. But yeah, just safety first, guys. You know what I mean? Safety first. So let's go ahead and get this guy over to the trash can and get these rivets drilled out, and then I'll give you guys some pointers and insight along the way. All right, so we've got our car positioned up, got our drill bit, everything's ready to go. So what you want to do is center your drill bit into the rivet. This is why I choose the 1/8, because it's just a tad bit smaller than the rivet. And what you'll see is what it's going to do is it's going to drill in, it's going to thin the rivet out. And basically what I want to try to do is create a ring that I can pop off of this, and I'll have the ring around my drill bit, and the car will just snap back together. So it's a little bit tricky. It does take some practice. My suggestion would be getting some fantasy castings that you can do this with, and that you don't really care about, that you're not using for your custom, and just practice drilling out those rivets to the correct point. So let's go ahead and drill this guy. Not a bunch of continuous pressure. I use a lot of short bursts, but you can see the shavings coming out there. And so here's what our rivet looks like now. We've got a nice little crater in the middle. This is not thin enough yet to go ahead and try to snap that ring off, so I'm going to continue to drill. So you'll get to a certain spot, and you kind of just want to wiggle your drill around in a circle to try to get that ring off. And this will kind of hollow it out a little bit. So now you can see that that's thinned out quite a bit more. So this one's going to be given a little bit of trouble. Just seems to be a stronger rivet, and you do run into this sometimes. So what I think I'm going to do is show you guys the technique on the back rivet, and then we'll have to finish cutting this front rivet off. So let's go ahead and swap the car around. We'll go to our back rivet. These guys are usually not as strong, so hopefully this one comes out in the manner that I'm trying to show you guys. So if you look there, you can see how it's thinned all of that out. So your edge is really thin now, and the hole is kind of vacant. So we'll drill, and then as you're drilling, light pressure, kind of move that around. You hear that pop, and yep, I almost got this one to pop off on there, but there it is. Whoops. So unfortunately I lost the ring. I was trying to show you guys that and pop it off on the end, but it did shoot off. So you'll see there's a little bit left of the rivet on the outside there where that blue is. That's where your cutters are going to come in handy. So you're going to want to cut this, and you just go around the edge and cut whatever's up above the base away. And boom. So Get all of this out of there. Good to go. All right, so this one looks good enough to me. I don't see any of the rivet hanging over the plastic, so it shouldn't affect it. And this should be to the point where this car will snap back together. You won't need any screws or glue or anything to hold it back together. Let's go back to our front rivet. So I'm going to try drilling this one a little bit more just to see if we can get it more thin before I actually start cutting. This front one's not wanting to be fun, so we get rid of our rag here. And also too, when you're cutting these, you want to have some sort of safety glasses. Sometimes when you cut these, they can and will fly across the room or at your face, your eye, etc. So try to make sure you don't have anybody around. And if you do, make sure that they're wearing protective glasses and that you are yourself as well. So unfortunately, I think this one I'm going to have to go down and grind out in the garage because I think the rest of this rivet is just too thick. Yeah, so all right, we're gonna cut. I'm gonna run downstairs. Unfortunately, this is gonna have to have the grinder on it, but we'll take the camera and set up down there, and I'll kind of show you what happens if you run into this problem. That way you can get your car taken apart as well. So let's run down to the garage and do that real quick. We'll be right back. All right, so we're down here in the garage. I got this little grinder here. It's called a Drill Master. You can pick these up at Harbor Freight. If you don't have a Harbor Freight in your city, I mean, any type of hardware store should have this. Again, this is like a $10 drill. I don't spend a ton of money because they end up breaking and, you know, you go through them. So I figured if I spend $10 and I get 6 months of use out of it, that's fine. And then this little ball grinder here, the one that comes with it is smaller. So I grabbed this one from Lowe's. You do want the larger one. But basically what we're going to do is you're going to grind this rivet all the way around. So this is going to grind out, and then basically what I'm going to do is grind down the outside so that it's no longer attached to the base, and then we can pull that off. So here we go. All right, so that's what your rivet's going to look like after you get it done. We're just going to clean that off a little bit, and oops, sorry, get that focus there. All right, so that's what it's going to look like, and then that's what your rear one looks like. Now we'll go upstairs, and Q-Swap is going to show us how to complete this wheel swap. So we'll be right back. All right, so we're back. We got our car drilled, and Mr. Q-Swap, take it away.
So my dad drilled this for me, and I take it apart like this, and it comes apart, and then we need these, and you need to cut this one, and then the axle, the wheels should come out, and then do the same to the back.
All right, so this back one's giving us a little bit of trouble. So what we're gonna do here, this tab, we're just gonna run your nail clippers up as close as possible and cut that off. There we go. All right, finish her out.
And then you take these off, and then you can get your new wheels, and you put them on. And then do the same to the front. And clip that in. And then you put your interior on. And then your windows.
So the glass on this one has to go in first. So put the glass in that one, because this casting is a little weird. See how the window goes inside of that piece back there?
Oh.
And then you can put it on and it holds it up. Okay, that piece like that.
And then put this on, and then you snap it back together. And then that's how it looks. And then it rolls.
All right, guys, so there you have it. That is the end of our basic wheel swap tutorial. Shout out to QSwap, my trusty assistant. He killed this one. Again, this is his personal car. These were wheels that I gave him a while back. He has a little bag of wheels that he has for wheel swaps, and he totally chose this wheel set on this wheel car. So shout out to him. Much appreciated for your help today. Thank you, sir. And yeah, so this is the beginning. So basic intro here, nothing serious, nothing crazy. Again, do get a full roller and the car. So this one, we did end up having to hollow this out a little bit in the back, so it doesn't quite stay all the way. You do see how there's a little bit of play there, but basically what we'll do is I've got some hobby glue, and we'll take just a dab of hobby glue, put it around there so that he can play with this and he doesn't have to worry about it coming apart on him. But yeah, otherwise, when we get into lowering cars and doing full customs, or at least full like wheel swaps and lowers, I'll show you what I use to drill these guys out and get a screw in there. So that way you guys can see how that works as well. I do not tap or anything like that. I just simply drill it with a small bit, and then I have a screw that fits that hole that will thread in there itself. So all in all, super, super dope. Shout out to my assistant QSwap for helping us out today. And yeah, so got a few other cars back there on display. I've got some Daver Mac customs back there. I've got some of my own swaps back there. We've got the mini GT swap that we did over here. So all in all, super, super dope. So thank you guys for tuning in. Much appreciated. If you enjoyed the content that you saw today, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to leave a comment down below about if you knew about any of this or if you're new to swaps. And then stay tuned, because we will be dropping an episode 2 that's going to go into the easiest way to lower your Hot Wheels or diecast cars. And then from there, we'll continue to progress into camber and slamming and so forth. So thank you guys again for tuning in. Much appreciated. And we will see you shortly on the next one. One love.